the top left of King's Cove. He needs to win. He is.
Ego Esports, Elazer.
Like you said, absolutely already had a fantastic run. Can be very proud of it, beating a Zerg and a Terran player. Can he beat this one, the Protoss? In the right bottom side, the American hero.
Ting, Neeb.
Yeah, it's interesting to see those different paths, right? Where Elazer, he comes into the tournament. I think most people were probably rating him the weakest on the, the world team.
Yeah,
and
I think
probably
that's fair.
bottom 2 in the tournament.
I think that's
right?
very fair.
But yeah, he beats the current GSL champ, right? And then he beats the guy who wrecked Sue and had a great series against Seoul, of a different race. And now here he is. He's putting out some good games against Neeb overall. There's some hiccups. He's making a lot of overlords. But
he's making
playing
a lot
well,
of overlords.
Yeah, he makes a lot of great tactical moves, though, right? He's doing some good counterattacks. He's making it very competitive, no doubt.
It was very close. It's really, it's funny, right? Because sometimes you have like series where it's like, okay, Neeb is supposed to win game 1 and he does, and the other guy's supposed to win game 2 and he does. And I feel this one is almost a bit around, right? I actually think that there was a very good opportunity for Elazer to win New Repugnancy there. I think the Roach counterattack, the initial one, picking up the Immortal, forcing the defensive warp in, buying time. I thought a lot of that stuff was very good. I thought he got himself in a really good position. Then maybe like went a few too many drones, and then obviously taking the fourth base, I think maybe slightly too much against the Protoss with 38 workers, but a lot of really good stuff. Then again, obviously you can also say that Neeb should have always won Acropolis because that was kind of his game.
Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of a shocking loss there.
But that's what makes it fun, right?
Yeah.
It would be boring. We can always call it already at minute 5. It's like,
no, I know.
Yeah.
That would be pro gamers commentating.
So funny. Like at WCS summer, I casted or I wasn't casting. I was hanging out with Scarlet, sort of. And one more, and we were watching Raynor against Special. They're like, yeah, this game is over. And it was on King's Cove. I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, yeah, super over, he's super dead. I'm like, no. It's like it's gonna be like a 27-minute game. They're like, no, super over. And turned out to be like a 35-minute game with nukes both maxed out.
Absolutely. Well, that's the thing. Like, pro gamers always extrapolate. Like, oh, if they play perfect, this is what happens. Like, yes, that is true, but these games, they're highly contested. People make mistakes in Starcraft, and that's why Starcraft is such a good game. If people played perfect, this game would suck. It would be so boring.
Especially because it's such a big moment as well, right, for Elazer. You could really see in the games that he had against Dark that he was nervous. You could see he was shaking.
Sure.
A couple times you can just see him trying to grab a Ling and accidentally grabbing a few too many Lings and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I saw, like, Banelings detonating that weren't near anything and stuff. Yeah, it was totally happening.
Yep. But that's normal as well. I mean, it's a big series. There's a lot of money on the line here. It's a big journey all the way from Poland to South Korea. Yeah, you want to show your best. And that's not always possible. And often, in general, I think the longer the game goes, that's why I think it was so nice for Elazer to have a super long game 1 against time. Because I think then you kind of go through all the motions, right?
That's true, yeah.
And you can shake it off a little bit.
If you die instantly to like a rush,
it's rush.
You aren't even warmed up and you feel bad. You don't want that.
No, that's super rough. Now, King's Cove, of course, is the map of the Oracle. We saw Stats do terrible things against Zerg players on this map. Zest as well. Trap even being very good with them too.
Yeah, and I think we'll see more of the same. Oh, double Stargate!
Double Stargate. Okay, he's going to switch it up.
That's cool.
And it's, especially if you think about the way that Elazer has been playing these games so far, a lot of roaches, not that much Overlord scouting, no Overlord speed. If he just by default makes these 12, 15 roaches of like 50 drones, the second Stargate is going to be very good here for Neeb.
Well, I think that is quite likely to be the case, right? You have all these oracles, you're going to want that. But look, with the double Stargate, I'm just thinking about, like, as a Elazer here, right? You're making all these overlords the whole game, so you're not worried about the spy block. But is he going to have the actual anti-air here? Like, there's no way you expect this after the 3 Oracle opening, right?
Nope, I don't think he's thinking about this. He's thinking about the stuff that we have seen all the time lately, and that is this kind of stuff.
What?
Oracle
Did that last shot miss?
Can that stasis connect?
I don't think so.
No, that's like too far back, right?
Yeah. Not sure what that was all about, but okay. Maybe thought a queen was going to run up there or something.
All right, so we do have that Roach one, and he lasers at 55 drones. He's going already into 59. He's clearly not very worried about anything else. Now, Neeb is going up to 3 bases pretty quickly, considering the fact that this is a double Stargate build.
A little bit off on that execution for a moment, but gets 3 more. Not going to lose any units, so absolutely worthwhile. The Phoenix production has begun. I love that that third Nexus is already up for Neeb as well.
Yeah. I'd love to see, I don't know how many Phoenixes he's going to make, but I feel like whenever you go double Stargate, I'd really like to see a +1 air weapons. Like, it's 100-100, but it makes it so much more worth it, especially because sometimes when people figure it out, it's like, hey, wait a minute, you've got way too many Phoenixes. There is a second Stargate. They'll start building a lot of Roaches, and if you have +1 on the Phoenixes, it's actually a lot easier to kill Roaches. Roaches are quite tanky, but with +1, they go down pretty quick. But without, it takes a long, long time.
It's actually a really good point. I know that we all tease you a lot about how much you love Phoenixes and +1 for Phoenixes, but when you make this many, absolutely. Like, it's not like we're going to see Neeb go below 100 in his bank at any point.
Yep. That's the first 2 Overlords going down, but we know that ain't a problem.
No, Elazer doesn't care.
You gotta get
he
at least 7.
He can still max out. It's not an issue.
But this is already some really good damage, though. The queens were not in a very good position, so that's 1 queen going down. The second queen taking a lot of damage as well. That one goes down. The other one is out of position, too. Oh, man, this is already working out in a very, very big way for Neeb.
Yeah, now he's going to get even more drones. These Phoenixes worth their weight in gold right now.
These Overlords are all over the place as well, right?
Yeah.
That's like one more thing.
At least he hasn't come close to a supply block. In the meantime, of course, we see mass immortals being produced.
And this is rough, by the way. If now with this many Phoenixes around, you're like, whoa, I should get a Hydra then, I guess. Like, that's crazy. Like, if you would tell me, normally it's like, I get 5 Phoenixes, and I feel like the first Hydras are already on their way. Like, it's going to take a very long time here. Elazer is taking a lot of damage. I'd love to see the unit's last resource step here. Hopefully we get to see that eventually. Because I guarantee you that's not going to look pretty.
No.
A lot of minerals going down on the side of Elazer.
My God, the amount of damage that's stacking on these Phoenixes right now. Just see what Neeb is doing at home. Just, it's beautiful, right? His economy is well put together with 62 workers. He's getting his upgrades. He's continuing his tech tree. He's got a reasonable army already.
He actually had super fast double robo as well. You know, I'd love to see a robo bay here. I know, maybe not super common. I think a lot of people prefer to just go Archon Immortal. But I actually think if you're going to force out these Hydras, and with how late they are, getting a robo bay and getting like a Colossus or 2 or 3, I actually think that would be super powerful.
You definitely can have some very nice timings with that. But Baneling speed is already on the way. You know, I saw a game like that in Asus Rogue. It was
Hellraiser against Seoul. Yeah, Hellraiser did it.
And then also in Challenger with Gungbu Panda. Like, I mean, some of these strats are actually coming up and looking pretty strong. But look at this, diving in. My God, taking out quite a few Hydras there.
Neeb is going to go for the traditional route of Immortals, Archons, and Storm, and obviously we can't really blame him for it. Now, Elazer, even though he really did lose a lot of drones, he lost queens, he lost overlords, he did always have a very good economy himself, so he's still going to try to rush into that Spire, well, into that Hybrid, and with the Spire on the way, and that can obviously be eventually a greater Spire. But I have the feeling we're going to see a pre-Broodlord timing by Neeb.
Yeah, I definitely think he's going to be looking to hit that. Of course, with Baneling speed coming up, maybe it's defendable. I like Neeb's style here, though, right? Even when the Broodlords come out, it's not the scariest thing right away because he's going to have a lot of High Templars and Storm, and he still has a decent chunk of Phoenixes. I'd love to see him grab Blink again, though, to be honest.
Yeah, that was a little bit late, right, on the Thunderbird. It's almost like he forgot it, especially considering the fact that he had a lot of Stalkers to begin with. This time we don't have that yet, but I think he's quite convinced that he can hit the timing before Broodlords are ever out. Now, even if you can fight before Broods, that sounds great, but you always got to be careful on creep, especially against Banelings with speed.
Yeah, that's what can be really scary here. If you just happen to come in from the right angle and get those High Templars, then suddenly the game can go immediately to Elazer.
Yep, especially with +2 on the way already for Elazer as well, right? So the Greater Spire has been started, so you could say that the clock is ticking. A few more Overlords are going to go down, but that ain't an issue.
Neeb sitting here on 4 base. Elazer is taking his 5th, so that's kind of nice. I love that he just keeps hitting Overlords. Maybe he's like, he's probably supply bomb for a minute. Not even close.
I love how he just killed 2, and I was like, is he gonna plummet? No, actually no plummet at all.
This doesn't do anything. That's good for Elazer.
All right, so this is that moment when Neeb has to be careful, because Neeb has been in a couple of very good spots over the last few months against good Zerg players, and then he just went a little too deep on creep. Those Banelings connecting with the High Templars, like you said as well, and everything could be all over. I really like the second Prism, by the way, Dan.
Yeah, I really quite like that. Look, he's only got 2 sentries in here, so he has to be very careful against these Banelings. Okay, throws down that Psystorm, throws down a second one that whips.
That's going to be a big one.
Oh, that's a big warp in.
Yep, that Greatest Fire is looking very vulnerable. The Hive could be very vulnerable as well. I think Elazer probably had enough. He's going to go for it. Can he get on top of the High Templars? Yes, he can. At least a little bit.
Oh my god, he tried to force field him out, but the Archon ruined that for him, and suddenly Elazer holds on. But in the meantime, these Zealots doing some great harassment in his main.
Yeah, he still lost a lot of drones, and in the end, he didn't get everything right. Like, if you go for a fight like that, you truly want to get it all. That Greatest Fire is surrounded by Zealots and will go down. Even the spawning pool is in trouble. Elazer needs a magnificent victory here, or it's gonna end.
Well, right now, what Neeb needs to do is get off the creep and go rebuild his army. This army right here is so fragile. Yeah. It's like a glass cannon. You have to pull back for a moment as Neeb. I feel like since he got the Greater Spire, it's so long until Broodlords. Just go home, get some more Immortals, Archons, and High Templar, and then move out again. You got it.
Yep. Look at the difference, by the way. What was that? Like 9K resources against 5, I believe. It's big, it's big. It's been a very effective and clean game by Neeb. He's going to get a few more units. He's just going to try his luck one more time. Another drop lord. I have the feeling that Elazer is going to try to drop some Banelings on top of the High Templars. It's really funny because there was a drop lord in the beginning of that fight, and it actually flew right over everything. And I bet Elazer thought it's like, hey, if I had 4 Banelings inside of this bad boy.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much, I think, his only hope. I am with you, though. It's like crazy how aggressive Neeb is here, but I don't feel like he really has
His army's not even grouped correctly. The Archons are behind the High Templars. That's not going to help you.
Neeb doesn't have to be here.
Dude, he's making me so nervous right now.
But he's Neeb.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing right there.
Well, does he? Let's see. Some good zoning Psystorms right there, but here come those Banelings once again.
Templars are pretty well tucked away on the right top side. Suddenly they did pop, though. A couple of Banelings did connect.
And now look at it. He's going to lose every single unit here.
Yeah, the Immortals are strong, especially the ones with the barriers. They survive for a little while, but in the end, it is indeed all going to go down here. Now a few more Banelings show up as well. It felt unnecessary. I mean, you said it like 5 times. You felt nervous about it. And yeah, it's hard. Like Neeb, he was up a base. He sniped the Greatest Fire. It felt like his army could have been more than what it actually was. Now these Corruptors are going to start working on this Nexus, and even though it's only 4, well, he's going to stop it.
Well, he's afraid of the Phoenix.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have +1 already. I don't know why.
If that was a +1 Phoenix, I agree with it.
They have to run at that point.
Ooh, that's some nice damage here as well. 11 probes going down.
Totally not bad.
Man, well, look, sick by Elazer to still be in this game, by the way.
Yeah. Well, he's actually putting out really good games, even though he's losing. And again, I mean, we're being maybe a little bit critical at times, but Elazer is playing magnificently. And look, there's that RoboBay you wanted, but do you want it right now?
I wanted it a long time ago. Look at what else is happening. 198.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Neeb has started breaking. He needs to get back into his Phoenix production.
155 out of 198. No longer enough Overlords.
No. He's going to get the supply block warning and be like, damn, and start 10 Overlords. You watch.
All right, a couple Banelings will connect. The Dark Shrines, well, yeah, I like this. This could actually work, especially because there's only like a single Phoenix left. You know, Blink is down, a lot of Stalkers have been added, +3 is about to finish up as well. I mean, upgrade advantage is big, I feel.
Yeah, nice Baneling drop right here.
This one is nice too. It's always so satisfying to drop between the gas, because you know, you get it on both sides
you get
anyway.
4 probes that first drop, no matter what.
Yeah, it's sweet. So what's it going to be with the RoboBay? Thermal Lens, Colossus? Is that his way to deal with the Broodlings on the ground?
I guess so.
Yep.
I tell you, Neeb is the biggest believer in Colossus I've ever seen. His PvP lately for the last like month or so has just been so Colossus heavy, and now here he's going Colossus in this kind of late game against Broodlords. I mean, obviously it can clear the Broodlings reasonably well.
I feel like it would have been so good a couple minutes ago, and he had time to get it as well. Now, I mean, there's still obviously a place for the Colossus always, because they're going to be very effective against Lings, Banes, and those Broodlings, like you said. But It feels a little bit late, and woo, you see that?
Yeah.
You're like, ay, ay, ay.
Yeah, and his stalkers are off chasing 3 banelings across the map, so that's no good.
I think we're in for a long one potentially here on King's Cove, because I saw that the infestation pit was being rebuilt as well.
Oh god, yeah, there's pathogen glands. All right, Roddy, take a seat.
Here we go again.
But look, the thing is, I think that what I really like about the way that Neeb is playing this matchup is the fact that he is not going to go into Tempest just willy-nilly. Like, maybe at some point we see him go for it, but he knows that it's more likely for him to actually win the game by moving around like this.
And I mean, we saw Elazer mess up on Thunderbird, right? Sending a few too many units to deal with his Zealot run by this probe line is pretty well saturated. That's some very, very juicy connections
Wow.
over here. 19 probes going down just like that. And Neeb is not even incredibly rich, so this does really hurt. He's throwing away a lot of Dark Templars there as well. Those are expensive units to just run in.
Kind of a weird move right there, but Neeb is doing some other things well, right? Like, I like that he's roaming about and poking a little bit. I love that he's getting Prism speed right now as well. That is just a really useful tool against Broodlord tech.
I feel like Elazer is playing indeed really good for saying that he doesn't like this matchup at all. Like, I'm starting to see a little more of that old school Elazer, the things that made him so fantastic in this matchup. I really thought he was down and out in this game, man. When that Prism went into the main base, the army of Neeb was already strong in the middle of the map. Look at how well he's doing suddenly with these Lings and Banes. Maybe the pressure is getting to Neeb here a little bit too, but I love this game for Neeb a while ago. Suddenly, I don't like it anymore at all.
Yeah, yeah. Right now, this really feels like an Elazer victory if he just plays it slow and steady, okay? I don't know if he watches Snoot's stream, but if you just copy that and paste it right here, you're not going to get broke.
He's sending over more pros, but this base is not even secured yet. There's no Dark Templar here to save the day. That Colossus is a little bit late. 21 probes going down, and more going down there as well. There's Lings everywhere.
Neeb's mineral bank here is very, very low as well, which is making me a bit nervous here. Elazer looks like he's going to be able to force a game 5.
Yep, because he's getting more and more infestors. That Broodlord count is looking very good too. And he's going to be able to build up a bank. But we've seen this game, like obviously we see all the numbers. Elazer has no idea if like the stuff he's been doing has actually been like super effective, right? Does he still have to worry about, you know, maybe 5 Tempers about to show up and potentially ending this game? I think if he would know what we know, he'd be feeling very good right now. But since he doesn't, he's probably going to play it safe because his tournament life is on the line in this game. So it's probably going to be like, well, I'm just going to build like 74 Spore Crawlers and split the map.
I tell you what, I wish that's what Neeb had done. You know, when he actually had that advantage and it looked like it should be a Neeb victory. But he tried to end it, and that's so many times in StarCraft 2, that's what costs games. That's how you throw, is trying to kill your opponent before it's truly time.
Well, maybe Elazer is feeling a little more confident than I thought because he's actually moving forward. I think it's because he just hasn't seen air units in a very long time. He's like, I feel like I've been everywhere, and if it's really just Colossus, I think that these Broodlords can cause a lot of trouble for you here, Neeb, and he is spot on, Artosis, because I look at his army, and if Elazer doesn't mess up, he's got a mighty fine, powerful army here.
Yeah, look at that, even using Neural at the moment. A counterattack from Neeb immediately on 2 different sides, blinking on top of a ton of spines, and his main army going after the 4th.
That's actually really cool, but I think in general this stuff is cooler if you're very rich as a Protoss, right? Because if he loses all these units, he can't really rebuild them, but maybe the Stalkers can get some Broodlords here. There's one Broodlord that's quite exposed, but he doesn't want to set up for it.
Yeah, it looks like that move command not really serving well. DTs though, all over the place.
Yep, in the main base as well. And that obviously means that you're going to have to worry about your
Where's the Greater
account.
Spire right now, do you know? Because he's killing the Hive.
I think he rebuilt that probably in the natural.
Probably, yeah. Maybe if you get the Greater Spire here as well, you can
Whoa,
somehow force it.
that's so big! Oh my goodness, that's been going on for so long. He got so many infestors.
Oh my god!
Only 2 infestors remaining? Are you kidding me?
Those DTs must right now find the infestation pit.
Well, he could have gone for the Evo Chambers there as well. That would have been somewhat juicy.
Yeah, I mean, Evo Chambers are nice, but I think he wants them to make ground units, to be honest. It's the infestors and broods that are so scary.
Well, I mean, if you look at the bank of Elazer all of a sudden.
5 minerals?
5. There's not a big bank.
No.
Oh my goodness, he's losing more and more drones as well. Neeb with his counterattack has completely turned this game upside down once again. It does fire up 11 infestors,
Look
by
at
the way.
the units lost tab! Oh my god!
I don't know what we're looking at.
2 full rows.
Everything.
Yeah. It just shows every building in every unit. Like, is this the tech tree? What are we looking at here? Why are the numbers so big?
And these OVCS matter, by the way, because there's still Dark Templars that did quite a bit of damage.
And there's no layer. So you get all those DTs.
Yep.
Now look at this, adding in a few Tempests.
And these brutes are very, very far away from home. And that's what Neeb realizes as well. So he's going to try to fight. He can easily fight his army of Hydras, even though there is an infestor or two on the high ground. I think that really scared Neeb, by the way. He's like, whoa! Now the rest is coming quite close as well.
Back out of here, man.
Yep.
Oh, he's going for those.
Neuro from the high ground. Or Fungo from the high ground. Or both.
I'm going to try to pick off a few of these units.
It's actually not really working out yet. I must say that these few Stalkers made this very complicated for Elazer, and I think that Neeb did that very well in the end, but he's still kind of cornered, and he's going to lose a couple units.
I tell you, +3 Blink Stalkers, this is the new meta. Well, Neeb needs Tempest too.
Who needs Tempest, bam?
Well, eventually you need them, but like the Stalkers are pretty cool for a while. Okay, double Oracle on the way. Looks like he wants to get some tagging done here. Keep tabs on exactly where that army's at.
Look at the economy though, then 54 probes against only 13 drones. Neeb did such a damn good job. It's so funny because I was like, I think Elazer can attack. Neeb was like, yeah, please do that, Elazer, because that's the one way that I'm gonna win this game real quick. I have no idea how Neeb killed that much that quickly, but he did an amazing job with it.
Yeah, truly did. Now with the Tempest coming out, this feels like Neeb is going to be able to finish him off.
Yep, because these brutes are never getting home.
Yeah.
They're never getting home. These brute lords are stuck. I don't know where the infestors are, but it feels like there's just not that many of them left.
I think they're coming right now from the
top side.
Top of here. But he's killed so much already. Okay, here we go.
Now or never. A couple of Neurals.
Good Psy Storms going down on these Hydralisks. A lot of Psy Storms going down as well on the Infestors.
Wow, okay, that's like the best fight Elazer is ever going to get. I don't know if it's going to be enough, but it's really not going to get better than that.
Well, there's no more units that really hit air in here, and still a lot of Broodlords left over.
If he just went the 2 Phoenixes, can the Phoenixes do it? Start working.
The 2 Phoenixes? Well, he's got to remove these Hydras first.
He's got the Oracles. I think the Oracles can fight that.
Maybe.
Getting a few more Stalkers here as well.
God.
Oh my god, this Elazer is last effort. Elazer's tournament life is on the line. Stalkers blink forward, but these brutes are actually doing ridiculously good.
God, is Elazer actually going to break through this? The guy has like 5 minerals. He has nothing going on his side of the map.
No, this cannot be happening then.
I can't even believe this game.
12 drones against 55 probes, but Elazer gets the absolute best fight of all time. I mean, it's a couple Stalkers, but the Broodlord count is still really high. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, that is a lot of Broodlords left over. He's still making some more units. Look at this, a counterattack as well.
Link's actually going to down on multiple bases. This is ridiculous. I've seen a lot of weird games in my life, but this is one of the craziest ones. Here's another forward blink. Can he thin out the Broodlord count? He cannot.